Hi everyone, I'm Seth, and welcome to Thrift Store Tech. I love finding handheld games, be they low-tech Tomy Pocket ones, or higher-tech LCD ones, or even just Gameboy clones. So I've got a whole basket of these things that I've accumulated from thrift store shopping, shopping at the clearance center, that sort of thing. And in this series, we're going to take a look at them one at a time and just talk about them. They might be great, they might be terrible, they might be mediocre. Here we go. I'm going to take a guess and say that pretty much everyone watching is probably familiar with the original 1989 Nintendo Game Boy. It was an absolute classic, and it defined handheld gaming for a generation, easily, and it lasted a very long time. And of course, as with any successful piece, comes the imitators. This is so big I can barely get it in frame, but this is called the Wisekid YL-28 28-in-1 talking game. And if you're familiar with these kinds of systems at all, you may already be able to guess exactly what this is. It's not cartridge based. There's no slot for any cartridges or anything like that. There's just the room for the batteries, which it takes 3 AA's, one less than the classic Game Boy did. But it's all going to be block-based games, which could be good, could be bad, just depends on how it's done. Something I did notice about this at the beginning were these 2 jacks at the top, which I initially thought were headphone jacks, which left me going, why are there 2 of them? It's not as if you're going to have 2 different people huddled over this thing. And when I tried it, it did not work, and that's when I noticed this graphic at the very top. Presumably, you could daisy chain more than one of these together to do multiplayer games. That would have been very interesting to see. I've never seen another example like this, and Google is actually saying that it's not coming up as a common game. But apparently these kinds of units were pretty popular where Nintendo wasn't really available in the 80s, such as the Eastern Bloc countries, the Soviet Union, and so on and so forth. So let's just take a quick look and get an idea of what this is. So powering it on, we have game 1. We have different types of games. Sorry, the 1 is the level. So this is, I'm assuming, some kind of karate fighting. A tank combat-like game, I think. This may be Snake, I'm not even sure. I believe this is a race car game. This actually might be the combat tank game. Oh, nope. Wait, we're back to the beginning. Okay, so that first one is actually a maze game. So just to give you an idea, it says, okay, we have sound on there. We have our high score of 4,000. Our speed of the game is at 0, the lowest speed. And we have our little animated character here. So we're going to try this and just see how this goes. This may not film very well, but let's see what happens. Oh, that sound wouldn't get annoying very quickly. Oh. Okay, oof. And that talking is apparently just yelling at you. Oh. Okay, well that was easy. So you're supposed to navigate your way through this maze. Wow, this guy is loud. And try to find the target that you're going for. And not crash into a wall as I just did. And I'm not sure if that was yelling at me in Japanese or what that was. It didn't sound like any English I recognized, but who knows. So let's see. Okay, and then game 2, game 3, game 4, and so on. Okay, so I believe this is all just different variations of the same maze game. Oh, no, this one's... Okay, that one's different. We're apparently collecting blocks. We are apparently collecting blocks as we go. And again, trying not to crash into the wall. Uh-oh. You know, for as simplistic as this game is, and for... Wow, the sound off button is not working. For as simplistic as that game is, and for annoying as the sound can be, that's actually kind of impressive that it kept me engaged enough to want to try it again. But let's take a look. This says 28 and 1, and I know we saw 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 games. So I'm sure the 28 in 1 that they're talking about down here is referring to different variations of the game. Like this one, we started off with just the maze escape, then we were moving on to... Oh, there we go. Then we were moving on to different variations where we had to collect things. So let's try a different game. Let's see what this one is about. And I'm actually going to turn the sound off because, oh my gosh, that is loud. But let's see. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, maybe I should have the sound on. Oh, right, it won't let me turn the sound on mid-game. You are stuck with your choice if the sound is on or off. Okay, I have the sound back on. Let's try it one more time. I love this button that just says start or shoot. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see that. This big kind of purple button that just says start or shoot. So start the game, and let's see which way we're going now. Okay, I have no idea what I was doing or what that was, and I was getting 0 points trying it. And the sound adds to the game, I guess, but ooh boy, it is loud and grating. Oh, I guess maybe I did have a score. I think I might have been looking at the wrong number. May have been looking at the level. Let's see what this one is. Oh. Oh. So apart from that being very loud, I can tell that that's definitely a Space Invaders clone. It's actually surprisingly well done, given what they were working with. And I'm doing it now with the sound off. And I wasn't looking through my view screen on the camera, so I wasn't paying close attention to what you guys were seeing. But this is actually surprisingly engaging. Okay, so that was Space Invaders, or a clone thereof. Let's see, I was thinking this one was Snake or some variant of it. Let's see. Let's try it with the sound on first. Oh, hey, we got different music this time. Ah, okay. Okay, so like I said, very loud. I could barely hear myself think over that, but let's try that again with the sound off. And start. And with this one, you are moving your long Tetris block, I guess, trying not to crash into walls, but trying to hit those targets to add to your line. I see. And whenever it gets longer, then of course you're going to have to avoid hitting your own tail. So I guess it is like Snake. Again, for what it is surprisingly engaging. Oh, okay, sound was off so you couldn't hear it, but I crashed into it. But I can see where my score was 10,000 up here, and I just crashed into the wall again. Let me see if I can... No, where are you going? Okay, I guess some of these buttons aren't working very well. But, oh, yep, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's like 2,000 points every time you pick up another link, which I keep messing up. I guess some of these buttons aren't really responding very well, but such is life. So This is most likely from the late 80s, early 90s, I would say, just given the obvious influence of the Game Boy design. So let's see, we've tried that one. Okay, so we tried our tank, we've tried our I don't know what fighting game, I guess. Space Invaders, surprisingly good. Snake, for what it is, it's not bad. Let's see what this one is. Ugh, gotta do the sound on again. Headphone warning, everybody. Oh. Okay. Let's try that again with the sound off, shall we? It is a racing game. I love this touch that you have the red, yellow, green stoplight up here as best they can, I guess. And you've got to dodge around the other cars on the track, so it's reminiscent of some other racing games like, say, Pole Position or Night Driver, I think, from the 2600. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to which way the camera was pointing there. Kind of blanked out a bit. Whoa, okay. So, yeah. So that's the Wisekid YL-28, 28 in 1, talking more like screeching at you game. Again, for what it is, it's not terrible. It really isn't. Some of the games could be better worked out, or, well, given what they had to work with, I guess they worked them out as best they could. But, like I said, the Tank Maze game was actually pretty intriguing. This one, I have no idea. Space Invaders, I always like Space Invaders, so that was an easy sell for me. Snake, not bad. And the race car game, again, not bad, and we're back to the tank again. So, for what it is, I could definitely see people who didn't have access to, say, Nintendo Game Boy, or maybe just couldn't afford Nintendo Game Boy, something like that. I could see this being an acceptable substitute, honestly. Kind of has the same limitations of a Game Boy as it is not backlit. So if you're trying to play this without direct lighting or looking at it like this, Lord help you. Anyway, that's the Wisekid YL-28. I'll see you on the next game. Hope you enjoyed that look at the Wisekid VL-28 with its loud, screechy sound chip. I would be very curious if I ever come across another one of these and find the actual appropriate linking cable to just daisy chain two of these together and see if it does support multiplayer mode in some of those games, or how that would work. So if you ever had one like this, or maybe even had this exact one, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments, and I'd love to hear about any finds that you have from your thrift store adventures down in the comments below. Thanks again. I'll see y'all next time with the next game.